On September 11th, 2017, I broke Nathan Wilson's world record for the world's largest barreled Rubik's Cube. This project took me about 3 months to complete, basically just the whole summer. And the footage in the background you're seeing right now is me putting on the last few stickers. I did a live stream about a week ago, and this is the part of the live stream where I just finished making it. Hello everyone, this is Damian Cuber. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the 13 by 13 Rubik's Cube. So what we have here is the 13 by 13 barrel Rubik's Cube, made out of a Moyu 13 by 13 obviously. And the first thing you might notice while looking at it is it's got like these holes right here and like one on these three pieces right here. And there's like 4 around each thing of edges. And what that's caused by is by like holes in the mechanism. Right here you can see there's like a little hole here and here. And those holes cause little gaps right here, like in the pieces of the side. And I was a little afraid of what it would look like when I first started building it, but it actually turned out really nice and gives it some personality when looking at it. It's kind of cool just having like a little round belt thing here and some holes over here. It actually looks really nice. Most of the stickers on here were cut by hand. I used some cubicle pre-cut stickers to make this kind of center part right here and the entire white and yellow center, and then the rest of them were all cut by hand. I just took like little squares off the sticker sheets and would cut it about as close to one of these pieces as I could, and then set it on and then kind of like cut it off to make sure it looked right, and then rounded off the edges. The same thing was done with these edges here, but I had to be a little more careful just to line the colors up. It's not perfect, but it looks a lot better than my other mods. And the hardest ones to do were these little corners on the 4 corners on white and yellow. I wasn't sure if I should do them or not, but I actually really like the look of them. So you have to super glue them down just because they're so small. And I mean, they do give it a little better of a look. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap when you don't have them. So I think having those corner stickers really helps this puzzle out. One of the flaws of this puzzle is these 4 centers on the green, red, orange, and blue side. The top of the cap I sanded off, so it's just the inside of the cap. If you look really carefully on this piece right here, you can kind of see I dug out a little on the side to make sure I could get the cap out. And it's not the prettiest looking thing, but you can only notice it if you're looking really closely on each of these 4 centers. You can see like a little dip in this blue piece right here. And there's the red one. And for the yellow side, I actually just kept the regular cap and it looks fine. The white side, I kept the regular cap, but I did lose it in a couch and I still haven't found it. So what I did was I got some plastic sheeting and made this centerpiece right here, and it actually looks really good. It's got like a little bit of a gap right here, but it really blends in, and once you put a sticker on it, it's not even noticeable. The turning on this puzzle is just as good as a regular Moyu 13 by 13. I love the 13 by 13. It is my favorite large cube to turn, especially these outer layers. They just turn really nicely, and I love the feel of them. So let's go ahead and do a checkerboard pattern. So there is one little problem with the turning. When you turn these layers sometimes, it's hard to do, but like this top layer right here will just like hold still while you turn these like 2 layers under it. It's not happening now, but usually the red and green side do it. I'll see if it happens again while I'm continuing with this. I suppose it's just from the puzzle catching. It did it a lot the first day I had it, but now that it's been made for a week now, it actually doesn't really do it anymore, and if it does, it really like fixes itself, so it's really not a big deal. Lining up this puzzle can be a little bit of a struggle just because there's so many layers, but what I usually do is find these 5 little small stickers right here, and I will just line them up, and once you have those together, it usually turns and you can get it going again. So this is the checkerboard. I think it looks really nice, just especially these 4 centers right here. And I haven't really tried any other patterns on this, but I think the checkerboard looks really nice on it. So this puzzle wasn't actually very hard to make. The only thing I didn't like was how the pillowed shape kind of makes this part rounded instead of just flat. And that made it kind of hard to find the perfect barrel shape on these outer edges here. So it's kind of hard to see, but on some of them you have a slight variance towards these middles, and it's not perfect, but it looks good enough for me, and you probably won't notice it unless you're looking for it. So like I said earlier, this puzzle did take 3 months to make, basically the whole summer, but really it's not hard. It's just super tedious doing the same things over and over. One of the problems I had was I would fill a ton of these centers, like these outer ones right here, and like the ones on this side, and then I'd sand it, and I'd be like, oh, it's just about a perfect barrel. But then all these centers right here, closer to this middle, would actually open up, and I'd have to take it apart again and fill all those again. And then I do it again, and then all these middle ones right here opened up, and I had to fill all those. So I did have to go back and fill every single center here. I had to fill every single one, and that took forever, and I did have to take each of these 4 centers apart just a couple of times, and it was really obnoxious and really made me not want to continue with the build. That was probably the hardest part, but if you have any experience with modding, then I think that you could definitely make one of these. If you can make a barrel. My first barrel I made was the 9x9 barrel, which is right here. Here we go, this is the 9x9 barrel I made. This was actually the first barrel mod I made, and it doesn't look too bad. I mean, barrel mods are really easy. And the next thing I made after it was JR Cuber's X Cube barrel. I will be making separate videos on these later, so don't worry. And right after those two, I decided to make this. I was just kind of feeling adventurous one day and started cutting up my 13x13. And surprisingly, I actually finished, and in a decent amount of time too, and it looks great. I don't regret doing this mod. I submitted an application to Guinness World Records. I doubt they'll let me apply for it, but hopefully I can get a world record title for this, because it is the biggest barrel, beating Nathan Wilson's 11x11. And yeah, hopefully with the 15x15, 17x17, and 19x19, we might see bigger barrels made by someone like Tony Fisher or something. I'm definitely not making anything bigger than this. I'm working on a 7x7 barrel now for someone, and yeah, I don't think I'm gonna probably mod over like a 9x9 again. That's probably as big as I'll ever get. This is definitely the biggest thing I will make ever, and probably the pinnacle of my modding experience. So I know I didn't cover everything about this puzzle in this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can request me to make another video on this. I'll probably make another video or two on it if you want to see something about it. I will be making a time-lapse solve if that works out. And basically I'm just going to end this video with basically a big compilation of all the pictures I have of building this. I don't really have any videos, but it'll be like a slideshow. There's a couple videos just like showing the stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 13 by 13 barrel. If you want, here's a 3 by 3 compared to it. This thing is just massive. Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed making this, and it's a spectacular puzzle, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And I will leave you guys to the slideshow. See you in my next video.